Okay, I had a few minutes of spare time here and I thought I'd record a chess video. I'll cut the small talk and get right into this game. Um, this is it right here. Alright, let's back up to the beginning real quick. Bam. Alright, so I'm white. This is a 3-minute game, so, of course I could analyze it, and there's a better move and a better move, but, things are moving pretty quick, so let's just get started. Pawn to king 4, pawn to king 4, knight to king bishop 3, knight to queen bishop 3. That's all pretty normal. I'm a Roy Lopez player, so here it comes, bishop to knight 5. Really standard move. Black has a lot of decent moves here at the time, or at this particular time, and he plays this one, which is fine. This is called the old Steinitz defense. It begins to clear the way for some of his pieces to come out, and I play c3 here. Again, there's a lot of playable moves. This move, let me see if I can... the move I played there, it serves a couple purposes. It begins to reinforce the d4 square, right? So I could maybe play that pawn move. It also d6, c3. But more importantly, what it does is a common response is this. All right, black starts to try to push this bishop away, and one thing that you can do is back it up to here, right? Because you're still maintaining that pin on the knight, and then black's gonna challenge your bishop again. And now, because I've played c3, I can sit my bishop, down in there. All right, and then it also, as you can see, the bishop kind of guards the center. But if we back up a little, and let's say I don't play c3, let's say I play something like this, all right, like this move over here, and then black threatens my bishop, and I back up, and he threatens it again, and I back up. I'm okay for the moment, but, let's say I do something else. Whoops. I'm okay for the moment. Now it's black's turn, and he bounces his knight over to here. He's threatening my bishop again. Now, again, I could play that pawn move. I could play this move again, but if I don't get that move in, let's say I do something like this. Now black can take my bishop, and now I've got doubled pawns. So, long story short, the purpose of that move is, sorry, I got to back up. The purpose of that move is to kind of give my bishop an escape square. I play this opening, I play this opening a lot, so, I've seen this pattern a bunch of times. So that's the idea behind that move. It also, where's my little, here it is. This move also reinforces the d4 square. All right, I'd ultimately like to open my game up and put my pawn right here, and this reinforces that square. So maybe if he takes it, then I take back, and I still have 2 pawns up there. All right. So anyway, this is all pretty normal, nothing fancy. That was the purpose of his move. Now he's got his bishop there guarding his knight. It's my move. I'll castle. I like to get tucked away pretty quick there. It's his move. Bishop to king 2. That's pretty normal. He's doing the same thing. He's trying to develop his pieces. And now I'm going to play rook to king 1. And as you can see, that rook, it guards that central pawn. It just kind of strengthens my center. Knight to king bishop 3 by black. That's pretty standard. He's going to bring that knight out. That's the natural square. And, of course, now it's attacking the pawn. But I've already got that pawn protected with the rook. Like I said, I play this opening a lot. These are pretty standard moves. And it's my move, d4. That's the move I talked about. d4, opening up my game, hitting the center. I've got a little bit of lead in development, so this is a pretty good move. Nothing amazing. Pretty standard. All right, so he takes it, not a problem, and I retake it with the pawn I talked about. Now I've still got a strong center. I've got a 2-to-1 central pawn advantage. It's his move. What's he do? He castles. That's normal. And now it's my move. What do I play? Knight to c3, knight to queen bishop 3. That being the open square, that's kind of the natural square for that knight. It guards the bishop. It does a lot of stuff. It controls the center, so good normal developing move. Black's move, he begins to kick the bishop, like I mentioned. I back up. This, not a bad move, but now he's starting to fall a little bit behind in development. He's already moved that piece. Obviously, what it does is it pins my knight. So I'll put the question to the bishop and see what he wants to do. And he takes my knight. I kind of expected that. I can retake with the queen. Actually, I analyzed this game with the computer afterwards, and the computer recommends that I retake with the pawn. It's a little bit stronger of a move, but I won't go into all that. So I retake with the queen. Everything's still even up. Black's move. Now, this was the point of this video. I didn't see this move coming. I mean, it's pretty obvious, but it's a fast game, so I didn't see this move. And I thought, oh shoot, I lost a pawn, and but the lesson, I guess, of this move is, don't lose heart if just because you lost a pawn or lost a piece. There's still a lot. It's chess. A lot of stuff can happen. So I didn't see this move. Bam, I lost a pawn here, and that kind of bummed me out. But on with the show. I'll keep playing. So I slide the queen over. And the purpose behind that is, see, now what I want to do is move my bishop up here, right? Because if let's say black just doesn't pay attention, and I have my bishop there, then queen captures pawn is checkmate. All right, probably he's going to realize that. So in order to prevent that, he's going to have to move some pawns, and I don't know, I'm digressing. If I get the bishop up here, he's going to have to prevent that checkmate move by moving this pawn up, and by doing that, it's going to allow me to play bishop captures rook. So, the point is I lost a pawn, but I'm still playing. It's black's move. He sees that coming, right? So he moves his pawn to prevent that whole scenario, and I still put my bishop up there threatening the rook. The computer came up with a better move, but like I said, I don't really have time to go into all that analysis. What black should have done here is looked at playing this knight to h5 right here, because it threatens my queen, and so now my queen has to move. But he doesn't play that move. He doesn't catch it. That's a hard move to see on the board, I think. So anyway, I'm threatening the rook, and he has to run away, but my trusty bishop is over here. I think personally that he didn't see this coming. So bishop captures rook. That's kind of sneaky. It adds a little bit of credence to the idea that he maybe should have played this move earlier and chased my bishop back into here, but he didn't. So again, the point is, remember, I'm down a pawn. I lost a pawn, an unexpected move, and but now things are starting to go in my favor. So I take the bishop. Now, that's not a game-winning move, but it's good. He recaptures with the queen. Good deal. It's my turn, and what I'm worried about now is this move. He could play right here, and then I'm in trouble because that forks both of my rooks, and then I'm going to lose a rook. So I have to prevent this move, which isn't too awful hard. I just play that. So now, that stops that move. It's his turn now. I think he could find some better moves here, but we won't go into all that. It's his turn. He backs his knight up. What he's probably trying to do here is protect the c7 square because it's getting really weak. There's my little drawing thing. See, this square is becoming a big target, right? His knight was up here. And as soon as my knight moves, now the rook is aiming at this pawn. So my guess would be he backed up to here to try to cover that pawn. It doesn't really work, but... All right, so he backs up. Now it's my turn. All right, so I'm going to advance my knight. And as you can see, now I'm attacking that pawn that I just mentioned. I'm attacking his knight over here. It's not the end of the game, but he's got to make some tough decisions. He takes my knight, and I retake with the pawn. So this puts me in pretty good shape. Now he's going to have to move his knight. That's going to put my rook just a little bit closer to his queen. It's got kind of an X-ray on the queen there. And the c7 square is going to become vulnerable. He can't protect it. Let's see if I can draw that. Right? He has to move this knight, or else he's going to lose it to the pawn. But the knight is the only thing protecting this. And so he's starting to get in trouble here. I won't overanalyze it. We'll just show you what happened. All right, so it's his turn. He bounces the knight in the way. That's not too bad of a move, right? I mean, now I can't take the pawn. However, if we stop and look at the board, and we think, gee, what would I do? Well, I can chase that knight away. Now the knight has to move. And when it does, that pawn, which was already weak, is going to become a weakness again. So the knight has to move. He simply has no choice. All right, he backs the knight up, and instead of taking the pawn, there's an old chess saying that says, when you see a good move, look for a better one, and that's what I did here. The computer actually says queen to e3 is the best move, but this is a pretty good move. It threatens mate, right? If I move my queen over here, but now if I can get my queen right here, of course that's checkmate. So now he's got, kind of a double threat to take care of. He has to defend the checkmate over here, and whatever he does to defend it, this piece is about to fall. My queen's going to come in here and take this guy out and just begin to cause a lot of problems. I won't overanalyze that, but you can just see how things are starting to really go in White's favor here. And again, remember, the first exchange of the game was him taking a pawn that I didn't even see coming. So never lose faith. So that's, I played the queen move. He has to prevent it. He blocks it with his knight. Okay, good deal. Good block. And I play queen captures c7. So now my queen's down in there, looking pretty good. He's trying to protect this little pawn so I don't start wreaking havoc on it. I don't think this was the best move, but that's the move he played. And now it's my turn, and we're gonna do this thing again. Let's chase the knight away. I just did this on the other side of the board. Now the knight has to move, and when he does, the e7 square is just dangerously weak. Right, as soon as that knight moves, he's in trouble. The knight moves. This looks like an aggressive move because now he's forked my rooks, but rook captures queen. Or, I'm sorry, rook captures bishop, and black resigns. He's got nothing. I mean, what's he going to do? What's he going to do? He doesn't do him any good to take. If you look at the evaluation here, it's plus 24 for White. So, obviously, White's pretty much got the game. He can't take my rook or else he'll lose it. Let's say he tries to threaten my rook. That's not going to work. Check. He's got to get out of check. He has to take my rook, and now he just lost his queen for a rook. And it's getting ugly. You can do something like that. Mate. So anyway, the point is, after this rook captures bishop, it's just over, and black resigns. There's nothing he can do. The computer said the best move to play is this one. Queen to f8, which obviously bishop captures queen. It's just going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. But so let's back up and look again real quick. Boom, boom, Roy Lopez. I won't overanalyze the game. This is all normal. I see this position a zillion times because I played this opening a lot. And there, he kind of breaks one of the principles of opening development. He's already moved this bishop once. He should probably not try to move it again without a really good reason, and I don't think that's a good reason. What he probably should have played was b5 here, and chased this bishop away. That would have made a big difference. I mean, it wouldn't have been in the game. I'd have put my bishop here, but he could have made some other moves. I think that would have been a lot better. Now he's gonna, he's gonna move this bishop, and he's moving it twice. All right, he's gonna put it here, and I don't think that works out for him, like I said. So he moves the bishop twice. Again, not the losing move, but probably a better one. I threaten the bishop. Hey, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna leave, or are you gonna take my knight? He takes the knight. I take his bishop. Everything's still even. And then, like I said, I didn't even see this move coming. I was so freaking excited about, I don't know what, but queen captures bishop, and I didn't even see that move coming. I just lost a pawn, as you can see up here towards the top. He's +1. That means he gained a pawn, and he's threatening my queen, and I got to move away. So, but I keep playing, and I threaten that, kind of mate move there. Whoops, let's close that. And up with the bishop, and the rook moves away. Bishop captures rook, queen captures bishop. And I begin to attack this weakness, the c7 square. He backs up. I play pawn, knight to queen 5, you know, coming into his territory. Captures, captures. Now the knight has to move. All right, I chase the knight away with that pawn. Good, that's what pawns are good for. He backs up. Now I threaten mate, and I'm also threatening c7. That's a double threat. And bam-o. And now it's his turn, and the same thing again, chasing this piece away with a pawn. He's got to go, and black resigns. So that's been a pretty lengthy video, but I'm going to go ahead and record there, or stop recording there. But good lesson. Just because you happen to lose a piece or a pawn early in the game, you still got a lot of pieces on the board. A lot can still happen. Never give up, you know. I shouldn't say never give up, but, you know, don't lose heart. Thank you.